21st Century Entrepreneurship with Martin Piskarik.
One of the best things is that we really did want to bring that dental experience outside of the dental office into a more relaxing environment. Because, studies show the majority of people are anxious or do not want to go to the dental office. So bringing that more spa-like feel to a dental-like product was huge for us. That was one of the most important things when we went to starting to build a vision for our space. We started in my home, and then we expanded into the commercial storefront. So it was a long winding road of being in the dental industry to dental sales to then really seeing that there was a need for something different, and we created that gap.
For the sake of the whole context, how has the industry evolved over the past few years?
That's been very interesting. So teeth whitening is an unregulated act, which means that, yes, of course, you can find it in a dental office with your licensed professionals, but you can also find it outside of the dental office in this unregulated personal care space. So think of other unregulated items. You have tattooing, microblading, cosmetic lashes, etc. These are all services that are deemed unregulated because there's no governing body for these services. So both ends of the teeth whitening world have really exploded, but I would say specifically more in the last couple years, the traction is going more towards that cosmetic, unregulated dental, or I should say teeth whitening space, because you're able to offer the services at a lower rate. And it's been a really cosmetic sought after service.
And regarding your personal business journey, what motivated you to make that transition from a dental assistant to starting your own business?
Honestly, I think the biggest thing was dental sales. Once I became a dental sales rep, that's when I really got to see the behind the scenes linked with different manufacturers who make dental products. And then it really clued in. Actually, I was chatting with an esthetician and she asked if I could sell her dental grade whitening gel. And at that point, I was just completely under the impression, absolutely not. You can't do that. You're not a dental professional. But little did I know, actually, she 100% can. And that's when it kind of went off in my mind, well, okay, if there is this cosmetic beauty side to teeth whitening, then wouldn't it make more sense for a dental professional like myself to offer it in the sense of, someone who doesn't have that training? So I would really say if I didn't have that connection to the dental manufacturers, then I really wouldn't have understood, first of all, products in general, pricing in general, and that was really the catalyst that then was like, okay, I can do this. I can get the products. I can figure out the best techniques, and then it was just a domino effect.
What was the learning process for all entrepreneurs that are listening to us now?
I would say 100% is that experience is your education, and it really was a learning basis. So at the time, I didn't think I was fortunate, but when I first started with that dental sales company, I was given a cold territory, which means that this company was not in our province yet. So they had no customer base. So I was thrown right in, pitching completely cold. No one knew who we were, what our products were, like nothing. So that was some great experience. I really learned that a no definitely does not mean no. It just means keep trying. And then I also learned communication, which was huge on both the manufacturing, so dealing with distributor side, but then also the front facing, dealing with consumers. At this point, it was dental offices, but of course, just learning about how to communicate in general was such a great learning tool.
Can you go more into specifics regarding your sales routine?
So I would do like just straight cold calling, either cold knocking, so showing up at the dental office and dropping off flyers, literally calling as well, cold calling, and then of course emailing. And then near the tail end, it was starting to do that social media a bit. Of course, now if I was in that position, I feel like social media would be a much bigger part of my day-to-day. But at that time, I mean, this was 2018, there was still more traction of physical in person. I've taken what I've learned from that industry and really brought it into our current industry as well. So that since we do still work with a lot of dental professionals, we do model that. But again, we are pushing social a little bit more than we were, say, that cold knocking, like showing up to the physical location. We also feel like COVID played a huge part in that, for that time period, we really lost touch with our sales reps. Usually in-person drop-offs were the common, and then COVID really had us push to more online traffic, right? So our websites, our emails, etc. So again, in person is not as common, that at least I find in our industry anymore, but definitely social media is becoming a large portion of the day-to-day.
So we have sales and we have marketing, but in today's business realm, they are more connected and interconnected than ever before. Any successful marketing strategies you can share with us?
Yeah, well, we're having a really good traction with our whitening products that we sell to other businesses. Is we're having great traction showing behind the scenes. So really being personable, showing the day-to-day, the truth. And not only are the businesses loving that, but then it's a great way for other potential entrepreneurs to see the processes and possibly spark some flames in their brains too, right? So I would say being truthful and showing what is going on is huge. And it's also building that connection and trust, which I find a lot more consumers, if that's a business or a general consumer, they're looking for that trust factor. They want to know a little bit more, not only about your business, but about you before they feel comfortable purchasing.
Regarding trust, what do you believe are the most important other qualities for an entrepreneur to possess?
I would say from personal experience, what I truly believe helped me the most was organization skills. If I really wasn't able to keep things organized, it would have been, a very quick way for things to go off the rails. So organization is huge. And also, I'm not even sure what word would really wrap this up, but being not harsh on yourself. At the end of the day, we need to make sure that, yes, obviously our to-do list is never ending, but we need to remember that we cannot do that all in one day. So really making mini goals for yourself. So what I usually do is pick the top three things that I see on my to-do list that need to be those needle movers for the day. And then if I get anything else accomplished on top of that, that's like an extra perk, but at least have those minimum of 3 needle movers to get done that will give your business traction moving forward.
Tell us something about your success.
Yeah, so it has been it's what I thought we were starting has molded into something completely different. So when I started my teeth whitening studio in my home in 2019, it grew to then a commercial storefront. And I thought, our business was always going to be facing towards the consumer. But during COVID, when here in Canada, in Ontario, we had very strict guidelines, we were shut down for a very long time. So I started listening to my clients, and what I was getting more than anything was either dental professionals or beauty professionals contacting me and saying, hey, I've never seen someone do this with whitening before. Can you help me, teach me, show me where you're sourcing your products, or what's the process, etc. So that's when I listened to my client base and also opened and branched our second business, Professional Whitening Products. So then that's where we built out education, so courses, as well as products for either source to come and purchase that's made here in Canada. And it's a different makeup than what most people are working with in the whitening world. So we're very happy about that. And at the end of the day, our biggest goal now is to help make this unregulated industry more respected, and proper knowledge and education to make it safe, not only for the person providing the service, but also for the client who's receiving it. So what my biggest piece of advice would be, especially if you're going into an industry that is unregulated, is to do your own research. It's hard to find information in an unregulated industry that is accurate. So do your own research deep dive, ask multiple different people, do lots of looking into different reviews, etc. But you have to be your own researchy in spaces that you might not even think that you need to be. So I would say research for sure. For example, what our research really showed was for our industry, insurance was the biggest thing for us to figure out what we could and could not do physically chairside with a client. And then from there, I would recommend, once you do your research, you then of course build your business plan that is going to really be important. And then from there, after your business plan, it's once you get started, listen to your clients. Your clients are going to tell you what you want. And for example, that's how I started out, very consumer-based with our Whitening storefront in Ontario, Canada. But now how we've jumped very much more so B2B business, since we really saw a market of people wanting to learn how that they can provide safe and effective whitening products, and also education.
Rachel, in 5 years, your business in 5 years.
I see us in the global market, being a high leader in whitening products for businesses, and also making this industry very respected. And then myself in 5 years, I am going to be still with the business, still growing, looking for different avenues, and still here in Canada. So if you want to follow along with my story and where to find me, you can find me on all socials at Mentor Rach, a day in the life with the behind the scenes of being a teeth whitening entrepreneur. And then if you're looking to add teeth whitening to your services, you can check us out at professionalwhiteningproducts.ca.
21st Century Entrepreneurship with Martin Piskarik.